Good morning, students. In the last class, we have discussed about the composition of air. Air is composed of different gases. Those gases are water vapor, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, smoke and dust. And we were discussing about the dust. And the smoke, it is released by the burning of fuel, and dust is always present in the air, but we cannot see the dust normally. The presence of dust particles in the air can be checked through a slightly opened window or door that is facing the sun in a dark room. Hence, if you enter in a dark room, everything is closed, and if you slightly open a window or door, a slit or gap is present through which sunlight enters. When a beam of light from sun falls in the dark room through a slit of the window or the door, dust particles can be seen flying in that beam of light. Okay, so you all might have experienced this thing. The same phenomenon can be observed in cold winters. When the light falls on the ground through the gaps between the leaves of trees, you can see dust particles in that light. If dust particles are inhaled into our lungs, they may cause harm to our lungs. But mostly dust particles are prevented from entering our lungs. Fine hair are present at the entry of our nostrils, and mucus is present inside the nose. We inhale the air through our nostrils. As fine hair is present at the entry of our nostrils and mucus is present in the nose, the fine hair and the mucus, they prevent dust particles from getting into the respiratory system. Why should we not breathe through mouth? Harmful dust particles may enter our body, especially into the respiratory system, if we breathe in through our mouth, because there are nothing to prevent the dust particles from getting into our body in the mouth. So if we breathe in through our mouth, the harmful dust particles may enter our body. So we should not breathe through the mouth. Though the air contains mainly nitrogen and oxygen, small amount of carbon dioxide and many other gases in trace amounts are present. Okay. There may be variations in the composition of air from place to place. Both nitrogen and oxygen together, they make up 99% of the total gases in the air. Remaining 1% is filled by carbon dioxide and few other gases. Dissolved oxygen. When you heat the water, bubbles will come up from boiling water because there is the presence of dissolved air in the water. Air is present in water in the dissolved form. When you boil the water, from the boiling water, bubbles will come up. And these bubbles are due to the presence of dissolved air in water. When water is heated, the dissolved air escapes from water in the form of bubbles. Why I told about this dissolved oxygen? We know that there are many animals that live in the water. Animals living in water, they use dissolved oxygen from water for their breathing. Like how water contains the air in the dissolved form, even air is present in the soil also. How the air is present in the soil? There are many gaps or spaces between the particles of the soil and many holes or burrows in deep soil. And these holes and burrows which are present in deep soil are formed by the animals living in the soil. These spaces or gaps between the soil particles and burrows and holes they make spaces available for the air to move in and out of the soil. So from atmosphere into the soil, the air will move in, or from soil out of the soil, that is into the atmosphere, the air will move out. But how the air will move out or move in? Because the gaps or spaces present between the soil particles and burrows and holes, they make spaces available for the air to move in and to move out of the soil. So the animals that live inside the soil, they breathe in the oxygen from the spaces available for air in the soil. We all might have seen earthworms coming out from the soil during the heavy rains. Why do earthworms come out of the soil during heavy rains? When it rains heavily, water fills up all the spaces occupied by the air in the soil. In such situation, soil living animals will come out for respiration. As earthworm is one such soil living animal, when the spaces in the soil are filled up by the water and there is no presence of air, then the earthworm also will come out of the soil during heavy rains. Why all the oxygen of the atmosphere does not get used up through a large number of organisms are consuming it? Why all the oxygen of atmosphere does not get used up though a large number of organisms are consuming it? Both plants and animals consume oxygen for their respiration. Other than plants and animals, many other organisms also consume oxygen for their respiration, like bacteria, fungi, etc. Though oxygen is consumed for the respiration by most of the organisms, oxygen is continuously refilled by the process of photosynthesis by all green plants and photosynthetic bacteria. So oxygen is not getting used up. So most of the organisms are consuming oxygen for their respiration, but still oxygen is not getting used up. Why? Because oxygen is continuously getting refilled in the atmosphere by the photosynthesis process, which is carried out by green plants and photosynthetic bacteria. Actually, plants produce more oxygen than they consume. Plants cannot survive for long without animals. If animals are not there, then plants would consume the entire available carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and carbon dioxide might have got completely used up, and later plants would have died due to the non-availability of carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. See, plants are producing more oxygen than they consume, and plants cannot survive for longer periods without animals. Why plants cannot survive without animals for longer periods? If animals are not there, then plants would consume the entire available carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and carbon dioxide might have got completely used up. So whatever the carbon dioxide that is there, everything will be getting used up by the plants for their photosynthesis. And carbon dioxide will not be getting refilled if animals are not there, because by the respiration of animals only carbon dioxide is refilled continuously. If animals are not there, then carbon dioxide will not be there, will not be getting refilled. So whatever the carbon dioxide that is available, it is already consumed by the plants for their photosynthesis. Right? So due to the non-availability of carbon dioxide for their photosynthesis, plants may die or plants may end up their lives. As animals are present along with plants, enough carbon dioxide is produced by the respiration of animals. This carbon dioxide is getting utilized by the plants for their photosynthesis. So animal needed oxygen is produced by plants, and plant needed carbon dioxide is produced by animals. Okay. Animal needed oxygen is produced by plants by their photosynthesis, and plant needed carbon dioxide is produced by animals by their respiration. Thus both plants and animals need each other for their survival. And also the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is maintained by the presence of both plants and animals. So both plants and animals need each other for their survival. And also the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere It is maintained by the presence of both plants and animals. If any one particular thing is not there, then the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere cannot be maintained. So we can say that there is an interdependence between plants and animals for their survival. What are the uses of air? Most of the living organisms need air to be alive for their breathing purposes. And moving air is known as wind. This wind is needed for windmills to rotate. Air helps in the movements of sailing, yachts, gliders, parachutes, and aeroplanes. If air is not there, these things cannot move. Birds and bats and insects can fly due to the presence of air. If air is not there, birds, bats, and insects cannot fly in the sky. Air helps in the dispersal of seeds and pollen of flowers of many plants. And air plays an important role in water cycle. In order to take the water vapor up and again, in order to carry that clouds from one place to other place. So like all those things which are involved in water cycle, they are taking place by means of the presence of air. And what are the uses of windmill? Windmill is used to draw the water from tube wells, to run floor mills, to generate electricity. Keywords of this chapter. Atmosphere. The layer of air that extends up to many kilometers above the surface of the earth is known as atmosphere. Carbon dioxide. The gas which is released by the respiration of living organisms, and the gas that is released from the burning of plant and animal matter is known as carbon dioxide. Composition of air. The mixture of gases present in the air. The entire mixture of gases present in the air is known as composition of air. This includes water vapor, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and smoke and dust particles. Oxygen, the gas that helps in the burning, and the gas that is used for the respiration and that is produced by the photosynthesis is oxygen. Nitrogen, the gas which occupies the major part of the gaseous composition of air, a gas that does not support burning. Smoke, the gaseous substance that is produced by the burning of fuels which contains a few gases and fine dust particles is known as smoke. Windmill, it is a structure that has rotating blades and they convert the wind energy into electric energy. Windmill is a structure that has rotating blades. Where do they rotate? In the wind. A structure that has rotating blades in the wind, and they convert the wind energy into electric energy. Next, exercises. First question, what is the composition of air? The composition of air includes water vapor, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, smoke, and dust particles. Second, which gas in the atmosphere is essential for respiration? Oxygen. Oxygen is the gas in the atmosphere that is essential for respiration. How will you prove that air supports burning? By doing experiments with burning candles covered by inverted glass, we can prove that air supports burning. Fourth question, how will you show that air is dissolved in water? By heating the water and observing the bubbles coming out from the water, we can prove that air is dissolved in water. Fifth question, why does a lump of cotton wool shrink in water? Because when a lump of cotton wool is kept in water, the air present between the spaces of the cotton fibers, it will evacuate from those spaces. This air evacuated space is filled with water, and this water brings the cotton fibers nearer. So a lump of cotton wool will shrink in water. The layer of air around the earth is known as atmosphere. Seventh question. The component of air used by green plants to make their food is carbon dioxide. List 5 activities that are possible due to the presence of air. This is the eighth question. 5 activities are respiration, rotation of the blades of windmill, sailing of ants, gliders, parachutes and aeroplanes, birds, bats and insects can fly, dispersal of seeds and pollen, and water cycle. Ninth question. How do plants and animals help each other in the exchange of gases in the atmosphere? Plants provide oxygen needed for the respiration of animals. Animals provide carbon dioxide needed for the photosynthesis of plants. Thus, both plants and animals help each other in the exchange of gases in the atmosphere.